Welcome to the Global Quilt Connection, where you will meet quilt teachers from around the world who are offering independent enrollment workshops and events. The first teacher we'd like to present is Esterita Austin.
Hello, I'm Esterita Austin. I'm currently teaching live virtual classes internationally and nationally to guilds and groups. As of this month, I will be offering classes on Coursecraft. There'll be individual, on-demand classes that you can access at any time. The first class I'm offering is Luminous Painted Irises. It's an original technique that I've developed, as are all of my other classes. If you think you're not a painter, with my easy step-by-step approach, you will be a painter by the end of the lesson. This class is available in February of 2021. With this class, as well as all of my other classes, they're all video-based. They're immediate access with video on demand through Coursecraft. All of my classes are relaxing, informative, and non-threatening. Another class I will be offering is Sheer Floral Fantasy. All these irises have been done with sheer organzas and misty fuse and assembled in watercolor-like technique to make beautiful shimmering irises. Continuing on with the use of colored organzas, you can pick them up at most local fabric stores. Here we have organzas used to make portraits, fabulous sheer faces. It's one of my favorites. By using these wonderful organzas, you can overlap and overlay them to create some beautiful watercolor-like portraits. It really is easier than it looks. Here's my animal portrait class. Do you have a favorite furry friend that you would love to capture in a portrait to keep forever? Well, you can do that with this class. It's done with cotton fabrics, either hand dyes or ice dyes, and it's a step-by-step assembly. Again, very easy to do. Portraiture class is another one of my techniques, completely different than the previous three, and it captures a wonderful likeness of any person that you would choose to do. I hope you'll be able to join me for these on-demand classes or for my virtual classes. You can see other offerings at esteritaAustin.com or email me at esterita2@icloud.com. Kits are available for all of these classes. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, Esterita. Next up is Hollis Chatelain.
Hello, my name is Hollis Chatelain, and I'm a textile artist and a teacher, and I've been teaching for more than 30 years. As I traveled and taught in the past few years, many students told me that they had a personal project that they wanted to work on, but they felt they needed help. Some people didn't know how to start. Some didn't know how to finish it, and others were just searching for guidance. So I started offering independent study classes where each person worked on their own project, and I offer help when needed. My workshops offered advice, they offered critiques, and demonstrations. And there was always a warm, friendly dynamic because the students could listen, they could learn, and they could help one another. I have found that this positive energy even went beyond the classes. Many participants stayed in touch after the 5 days. They were sharing ideas, they shared pictures of their finished projects, and they just enjoyed each other's company. Many wanted to come back again for another 5 days of creativity, another 5 days of fun, another 5 days of community. So when we moved to Zoom classes after March, I decided that independent study would be my main focus, and I've already hosted many successful classes. Students enjoy being in their own space while working on personal projects. And I work hard to create a sense of community, something that is so needed right now. At the end of each workshop, members often talk about the bubble that was created in the group and how it's helped them in so many ways. My classes are small with a maximum of 15 students, so everyone gets lots of individual attention. Throughout the 5 days, I do demos showing quilting, dye painting, and drawing. Students work on all kinds of projects using many techniques in these classes. Here are just a few of the projects and techniques done in my recent classes to give you an idea of what you could work on. Quilting, baby quilts, piecing, fusing, drawing, dye painting, and even wearables. Some people finish up UFOs that they didn't know how to finish, and we really become quite comfortable with one another in these workshops. So I'm inviting you to come join me. You can have fun, learn new techniques, and make new friends. You can find more information on my website. Please feel free to email me if you have questions, and I hope that I'll see you in one of my classes in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Hollis. Now we will hear from Sheri Cifaldi-Morrill.
Hello, I'm Sheri Cifaldi-Morrill from Whole Circle Studio. I'm a designer, pattern publisher, award-winning quilter, and educator. When it's safe to travel, I teach in person at guilds, shops, and international conferences. Since March of 2020, I've been offering live online workshops for quilters. I found that teaching live from my studio through Zoom is a great way for quilters to learn new skills, stay connected, and have fun. I recognize that the technology may be a little bit overwhelming and might feel a little bit impersonal, but I can assure you that I'm able to make it super easy and feel like an in-person experience. In some ways, taking a live online workshop is even better. Unlike an in-person workshop, through my camera, you'll be able to get my point of view while I'm working with my hands or on my machine. Just like being in person, my live online workshops are full of demonstrations and one-on-one attention. We're also sure to engage in a bit of group chit-chat and laughs along the way as we meet new friends from around the world. Here are some of my workshops. Piecing curves with confidence. Does the thought of sewing curves give you anxiety? Don't fear the curve. Students will learn all my tips and tricks to create a fantastic curve while making blocks that can be used for a larger quilt. Hawaiian-inspired applique. Kick back, relax, and enjoy this slow stitching workshop. Learn how to prepare and stitch tropical motifs and make a beautiful Hawaiian-inspired quilt. Walk the talk and quilt it. Let's get beyond asking ourselves, how do I quilt this? I share practical strategies for how to decide on a quilting plan that will enhance the design of your quilt top. We'll also review how to get started and my tips for walking foot quilting. Double friendship knots. Have fun with fabrics and learn how to mix techniques with the double friendship knot quilt, a beautiful, unique alternative to the traditional double wedding ring. We'll combine foundation paper piecing by machine as well as hand needle turn applique to make this beautiful quilt you can gift to a couple or friend. The A to Z of EPP. Learn all about what English paper piecing is and how to get started. This easy handwork technique is perfect for quilters looking for a portable project. We'll learn how to sew with different stitches to piece both straight lines as well as curves. Because all of my workshops are live, registration periods and class times vary. Be sure to visit my website, wholecirclestudio.com/workshops, to see what's currently being offered and to sign up to be notified when registration opens for future workshops. You can also email me if you have any questions. I look forward to having you in class soon.
Thank you, Sheri. Next up is Phyllis Cullen.
Aloha. Come join me in beautiful Hawaii. My name is Phyllis Cullen, and I live on the Big Island, right on the edge of the ocean. Right now, we can't have our friends over to play, so we're doing all of our classes via Zoom, which gives you a close-up view of everything that we're doing. We have an in-depth class of 5 sessions that is based on our book, It's All About the Face, where Cindy and I will take you through every aspect of making a portrait quilt. You'll find out about everything from reference photos to how to quilt it. We also have short classes if you only need one aspect of things, want to make a beautiful portrait without knowing anything more about it, or learning to make the patterns and so on. We also have study critique exhibition groups where you learn all sorts of styles of making portraits because, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Skin a cat? What an awful idea. We don't skin cats. As a matter of fact, this guy is called pussy grabs back. Don't mess with him. We like to thread paint them, collage them, piece them. Oh, dogs too, of course. And here's, here's some to show you. Our favorite is the rainbow collage here, but you can also layer them. You can piece them, draw them, thread paint, and so on. We have classes every month. The 2 classes for the wild animal collage also includes other animals. You can make all of these guys and birds. Oh, lots of birds. This one's called Can You Hear Me Now? Or maybe you just want to relax and take a class in doing my stained glass quilts. This is fun and relaxing, and you go home with a nice bright picture of Hawaii. Lots of bright colors. Go home, you're already at home. It makes it easier. Or maybe you want to take a bit of our Hawaiian landscape home. Underwater snorkeling, the ocean, volcano, the waterfalls, all of these can be done in one of our online classes. Or maybe you want to come and actually do a personal retreat. As soon as we can arrange that, we'll have you come to the studio where you can use any of my tools, including that long arm, and use any of my materials and learn any of the techniques that I know how to do. And I'll be glad to help you one-on-one. You'll also, of course, get to go to the beach, do a little excitement, maybe just sit on the lanai and watch the whales and the geckos. But if you're interested in a personal retreat for you or up to 7 of your friends, pcul429@gmail.com. Thank you, and don't skin any cats.
Thanks, Phyllis. Let's see what Rhonda Denney has to offer next.
Thank you, Lyric and Sue, for this opportunity to share my information with you. Hello, my name is Rhonda Denney, and I'm a fiber artist, educator, and mentor. My website, www.rhondadenney.com, is a great place to see some of my art quilting work and a listing of my offerings, including in-person, virtual, and on-demand training. I have a new platform, an app called Pigment Patchwork, after my techniques. The access link is available on my website. At its foundation, Pigment Patchwork is a sense of adventure and a willingness to experiment and discover with different techniques and methods of creation. Best of all, it focuses on helping people develop and enrich their own creative voice. My goal? Help others learn from my experiences to avoid some of the pitfalls. The app is suitable for anyone at any experience level interested in learning how to explore and gain confidence in your own abilities, culminating in a fiber art piece or art quilt that you can be proud of. I have products for beginners as well as more advanced techniques. Everyone can find something to learn. Curious about all the different pigments that are available, but don't know where to begin to use them? My 6-week Get Pigment Confident Challenge product is my simple plan to take you from discouraged to enthusiastic. The challenge introduces my methods. Then continue on your own journey using my other app training product. The best part, you do not have to have any artist skills to be successful in learning these techniques. My focus, give you tools so you can gain skills to increase your self-confidence. How? The challenge with videos of information and exercises, as well as reference guides and training aid files. I use worksheets and patterns so you can focus on playing with the pigment. You discover what happens during the exercises, build on your own skills, and learn at your own pace. Your confidence will grow along with your enthusiasm. Each week builds on the other. The structure allows time commitment flexibility with the completion dates for motivation. You can start and stop each session. Go back and review. Spend as much time as you like on the exercises. The more you experiment, the more you learn. Mid-weekly and weekly group feedback calls allow important FaceTime collaboration, all designed to keep you progressing. An online accountability group provides a flexible platform to post assignment pictures, provide feedback to others, post questions and comments, another level of collaboration. After the challenge, the Master Membership monthly subscription plan allows continued access to coaching and the exclusive Pigment Patchwork community to support and motivate you for long-term results. Visit my website, www.rhondadenney.com, for details and to sign up to be added to my newsletter so you'll be the first to hear about new products I offer. Or email me at rhonda@rhondadenney.com. I would love to be part of your creative journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. Next is Rachel Derstine.
Hello, I'm Rachel Derstine, and I am an art quilter from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. After a long career teaching music, in around 2010, I began seriously creating art quilts and submitting them to quilt shows and winning awards. My husband and I then spent quite a few years traveling across the country in the summers, selling my quilts at fine art and craft shows. I've been published in several magazines, and I also have installations at several corporations. I decided to create my own online quilting and sewing courses, which you can find at artfulquiltingandsewing.com. To find my open enrollment courses, which you can take at any time, click on the main menu on Teaching, and in the drop-down menu, you will see the open enrollment courses. I have a comprehensive quilting course with 8 classes in it, and I have a sewing course with 4 units in it. Then I have several single classes which have been taken from those comprehensive courses, and I sell them as individual units. One of my classes is a landscape quilting class, and I will teach you some basic skills for how to make a landscape, and then you can make it as simple or as complicated as you like. Another very popular class is Artful Couching, where I teach you how to stitch yarn to the surface of your quilt to add definition and texture and movement. Another fun class is the Strata class, where we learn to do curved piecing, and then we cut out organza circles, stitch them to the quilt, and do some couching around them and across the quilt in flowing lines. In my Artful Sewing course, I teach you how to make various home decor items and bags and clothing for children and for women. In the drop-down menu, you will see my live virtual Zoom classes, which are scheduled for specific dates, and you can take them with others enrolled in the same course. I have a Facebook group called Artful Quilting and Sewing Group, which is open to anyone. Look for the orange quilt in the background. And I have a YouTube channel, Rachel Derstine, where you can find many free videos. So I invite you to come and join the fun.
Thank you, Rachel. Let's head across the globe again and see what Kathy Doughty has to offer us.
Hi, and welcome to my studio in sunny Sydney, Australia. I'm the owner and the artistic director of Material Obsession, a patchwork shop that I've been the proud owner of for 18 years. At Material Obsession, I like to think of the space as a place where quilters can come and get creative. It's an open environment. We believe that all intentions are welcome. So at Material Obsession, I've learned many things about quilters. I talk to quilters all day, every day, and I'm right in line with the questions, issues, and problems that most people have. The style of quilting that we do is very much based on a combination of tradition and with modern influences, including lots of tips and advice on how to use modern fabrics, big scale, very colorful, textural fabrics. So the objective is always to apply easy techniques, but to really understand why we're making the decisions that we make about the fabrics that we're using. So if you are at the level where you really want to expand your use of fabrics, I would recommend my Soul Searching workshop. This is a workshop that is based on really considering language terms to help us envisage how the fabric will perform when it's mixed together. We'll talk in depth about blending to create shapes and contrasting to create lines in quilts. Another way to really practice your color and fabric choices is to take my Taking Shapes workshop, which is about using one repeated shape, so it's easy to cut and easy to piece together, but we add interest and complexity by our fabric choices, by exploring different relationships in value, color, scale. So both of those are really great for people that like to piece. But if you've been piecing for a long time and you want to expand your repertoire and really add on some layers of interest in personal storytelling, try my organic applique class. In this class, we will explore not only the techniques for super easy applique, but we'll also explore the structure of quilts and piecing quilts so that we leave spaces for telling our story and personalizing our projects. Medallions, blocks, and borders are begging for decoration, and I can show you how to do that very easily and with great satisfaction. So for details on the workshops, visit the Material Obsession website. They run from 3 to 5 hours, depending on what we want to achieve. We send you a link of a recorded version that you can access for a week to fine-tune any questions or issues you may have during your class. So I'm very excited to be able to share what happens at Material Obsession with you virtually, and I hope that you are too. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in one of my workshops soon.
Thank you, Kathy. Natalya Khorover is up next.
Hi, my name is Natalya Khorover. I'm a mixed media artist who specializes in working with repurposed and non-recyclable materials. My artwork is inspired by urban life and the natural environment. I stitch my artworks by hand and machine. And sharing my expertise by teaching and lecturing on mixed media art techniques, the creative process, and inspiration is my way of making sure that art and craft are accessible to everyone. Registration is now open for the spring session of my most popular sustainable mixed media classes in the virtual format. It's a new and improved way to take a virtual class with me that allows plenty of time to work and play with the techniques. Each live class takes place over 3 consecutive days for 2 hours per day. I will be available via email for 7 hours after each day's class as you process and work through the techniques. You'll have more time to absorb the lessons and experiment at home, and will have ample time to address any questions you may have. Email follow-up extends for a week after the class. Each class is recorded, and the recording is available for 1 week. Previous students will also benefit from this learning experience, building on and expanding their knowledge. Plastic Nature is the first in the lineup for March 4th, 5th, and 6th. Here's a creative way to help clean up our planet. Make nature-inspired art from single-use plastic bags. Wait until you see the myriad of colors, thicknesses, and patterns available to you. I will show you how to prepare the plastic, cut it, and stitch it by hand and machine to create an artwork like no other. Textural Style is scheduled next on March 18th, 19th, and 20th. If you're like most artists, crafters, and makers, you've got scraps left over from a gazillion projects. Diverse tidbits like these hold a great deal of promise that shouldn't go to waste. Transform these visual morsels into a beautiful background or a standalone composition. The results will be a unique art imbued with your art-making history. Graffiti Lab is the last in this series for April 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Explore the artistry of urban graffiti and wordplay. A trip to the supermarket will provide you with a collection of single-use plastic fonts in different styles, colors, and sizes. This is perfect fodder for graffiti and letter-inspired art. Create puns, proverbs, and haikus you'd like to immortalize forever. Purchase each class separately as a package of any 2 or sign up for all 3 for the most fun. Remember, first class in the spring session starts on March 4th, 2021. Hurry to snag your spot.
Thank you, Natalya. I'd like to remind all viewers that teacher links and information can be found at globalquiltconnection.com. Let's get right back into it and see what our next teacher, MJ Kinman, has to offer us.
Hi everybody, MJ Kinman here, and welcome to my studio. You know, as we're making all these changes to teach at home rather than on the road, I'm learning a lot about my studio and its little idiosyncrasies. So for example, when I don't have my heater on full time, it's freezing. So I had to just go put my slouch slippers on to keep my toes warm. But I love it. I love teaching from home. I love being able to spend time with you screen to screen. Even though I prefer face-to-face, this is the next best thing. I make quilts and patterns
that look like faceted diamonds. Some people ask me, what's your favorite diamond, MJ? What's your favorite gemstone? I don't know. I love them all. Anything that has color and sparkle, I love it. Now, one of the things that I also enjoy doing is sharing this information with my students. Now, let me tell you about a couple of things that are coming up in 2021 that I'd love to share with you. I'd love to invite you to be a part of. First is I would love to create a community of people who love gemstones as much as I do. Let's create a tribe. Let's create people who love bling and color and quilts. So I've created the Tiny Treasures Club. On the third Friday of every month, I'm going to release a pattern via a PDF downloadable file. So anybody, anywhere in the world can join and participate in the Tiny Treasures Club. So later that day, after the pattern drops, then what it will do is we'll have a live Zoom meeting so we can talk about the gemstone that inspired it. We can talk about the pattern. We can celebrate our successes from the past month, and we can just enjoy talking about the things that we love the most, gemstones. We'll have a private Facebook page. We'll have a private page on my website that will be a repository for all of the resources that I'm going to provide for you. So if you're interested in that, if you'd like to join me in a year-long adventure, check out www.mjkinman.com, click on Classes and Events, and scroll down to the Tiny Treasures Club. We just started. We just had our first meeting not 15 days ago, so it's perfect timing. You're not too late. You haven't missed a thing, so join us. The second thing I want to share with you is something that I call Diamonds and Drama Queens. It's my first block of the month. It's inspired by gems and jewelry owned by some of the most eccentric, intriguing, and outrageous people in history. So for example, Evelyn Walsh McLean, do you know who she was? She owned the Hope Diamond, the McLean Diamond, and scads of other jewelry. So if you'd like to learn more about the Diamonds and Drama Queens block of the month, you can again go to my website at mjkinman.com, click on Classes and Events, and join us. I'm really excited about it, looking forward to it. I wish you well. Shine on.
Thanks, MJ. Now we'll hear from Kim Mastromartino.
Hi, I'm Kim Mastromartino with Line Design. Join me in virtual open enrollment quilting courses and programs to spark joy and creativity. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher and use the Zentangle process for participants to joyfully create free motion patterns. Using paper or whiteboard markers, we get the continuous line patterns into our heads. Using the line designer, we get the pattern into our hands and without wasting any fabric. Then the patterns stay in our hearts as they were created with joy and confidence. The line designer tool is the magic tool. I'm going to show you how this magic tool works. Quilting, I'm going to follow the pattern. Again, I'm just trying to get the movement of the shapes. And once I'm ready, I can just take that same pattern and do it on a blank piece of paper. 3 leaves. I'll do another one. Had a ribbon. And then it had another 3 leaves. These virtual workshops are the answer to patterns that say quilt is desired. They're available on my Teachable site, easy to use, and loaded with beautiful images, videos, and clear instructions. If it's stuck anywhere, I just go through it. And there we have giant quarter improv circle. Currently, I offer 3 courses. Mini Moderns uses lines and shapes that support a foundation for all free motion quilting designs. Aerial Improv uses real aerial views of maps to create improv using rectangles. And Big Block Stack and Shuffle uses multiple blocks cut in piles to create similar blocks. Virtual courses include both recorded and live sessions. All courses are built with focus on community. One participant even said, "Why haven't I heard of this before? Free motion quilting is so much fun." Free motion quilting can be as simple as following a recipe, with personal adaptations to suit personal tastes, of course. You can find courses, free patterns, and tutorials at kimmastromartinoschool.teachable.com or on my website. All workshops and programs are built with community and creativity in mind for quilters of all levels of experience. I'm Kim Mastromartino with Line Design. I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Kim. Next up, we will hear from Linda Pearl.
Hi, I'm Linda Pearl from One Quilting Circle, and I'd like to welcome you to my workroom in Southern New Hampshire this afternoon. I am a pattern designer, I'm a blogger, I am a teacher, and I am somebody who has been buying and collecting fabric for quilts for most of my quilting career. When I meet with guilds, I always tell them that I'll admit to 25 years, and after that, not so much. In 2020, I pivoted my business to go from meeting guilds in person to presenting to guilds electronically via Zoom. And in the past several months, I have met and talked to many guilds throughout the United States, some of which I wouldn't have met before if it wasn't for the Global Quilt Connection. This afternoon, I want to tell you about another innovation that I'm bringing out this year in 2021, and that's that I'm opening my classes up and my offerings up to open enrollments. So if you are an individual who's not a member of a guild, or if your guild is not currently meeting, I'd like to invite you to take a look at the offerings on my page, because each one of them has been converted to an open enrollment format. If you go to my website, www.onequiltingcircle.com, you're going to find, if you go to lectures and workshops, that will take you to a link on my page, and that will show you the current offerings that I have. There are a few that are in development and they're not quite ready for prime time yet, but I'm adding a few more. And there are two different buttons underneath each offering. The first will take you to an information sheet if you're a guild and would like to reach out to me that way. The second will take you to an individual enrollment, because the process is a little bit different, and that will allow you to connect with me, find out when the next scheduled event is, and we can work on that. I also have an open studio once a month called my Monday night mini classes, and those are held at the fourth Monday of every month. That is geared towards people that are looking for a connection in that fourth week when guilds may not be meeting or group activities may be sort of winding down. And that's usually there is a schedule on the website that will allow you to see what is scheduled out for the coming weeks. In February, on February 22nd, I'm doing a sew along for a flange binding. So if you're looking for ways to finish those quilts that we've all been working on, this is a great way to do it. Check me out, Linda Pearl at onequiltingcircle.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Next up, we will hear from Jennifer Rapacki.
Welcome to my online classroom. I'm Jennifer Rapacki and love to work with fabric. My classes fall into one of two categories: modern whole cloth quilts, where you'll learn how to use a computer and/or an iPad as a design tool, and fabric weaving, which has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with computers. In the DIY inkjet printing on fabric course, you'll learn everything from printing photos for a memory quilt to creating a pixelated background like the poppy quilt that looks pieced and isn't. If you like to play games on your iPad or iPhone, take a look at the Fractal That class. Why not design fabric while you're playing? In both these classes, you'll learn all about inkjet printing on fabric, either at home or online. In the Weave That course, you'll learn how to make fabric from fabric. There are 3 projects. The small wall quilt, you'll learn how to take 1-inch wide raw edge strips of fabric and weave on the diagonal. The elongated diamonds look pieced and aren't. There are 3 applique patterns included. You'll also learn to weave square and add decorative stitching on top. The 2 projects to use those pieces are the small pouch and a fat quarter Christmas stocking. This pattern is also provided. Weaving fabric is a great way to use your stash and small amounts of leftover fabric. Each class has detailed videos and step-by-step instructions that you can download and print. Also, there are several videos in each class that you can preview. These techniques are a lot of fun. Take a look, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me.
Thank you, Jennifer. Next, we'll hear from Tracy Reeb.
Hi, I'm Tracy Reeb of Oak Tree Quilts. I've been teaching since early 2000s. I create my own patterns and I'm available for quilting and embroidery classes. Right now, all of my classes are taught virtually. Class fees include the pattern for the project and any additional handouts. Some classes have optional kits for purchase. There's 3 fun ways to take a class with me. Grab your friends and schedule a class from any of the ones that I offer or any of my patterns on my Etsy shop. I schedule classes so that you can check out my calendar, sign up, and just enjoy. And soon I will have on-demand classes where you'll be able to sign up and view the class anytime at your convenience. My favorite class and most requested is Another Way to Wear Your T-shirt class. In here, you'll learn to make a soft and cuddly quilt. It's made with just the t-shirts, no iron-on interfacing or cotton sashing. Yep, you can sew t-shirts without stabilizing them, and I'll show you how. We'll measure the t-shirts, make a map, cut them out, sew them, and each t-shirt quilt is unique. Flower pounding is a fun technique and can be a great stress reliever if you need that. And because of local flower shops, we can do it any time of the year. I just did one in November. Once your flowers are pounded on your fabric, you can use your sewing machine to embellish and finish your piece, or you can hand stitch it. You get beautiful results and it's a lot of fun. I do enjoy embroidery and I teach a few embroidery classes. Tea bag embroidery will teach you how to stabilize the tea bag, and then you can either hand embroider on it or do some machine quilting on it, and then we'll attach it to a quilted background. It's a fun technique and perfect for gift giving. Sashiko is a relaxing and really easy form of embroidery. It's a Japanese embroidery technique, and that's always fun to learn. Because I like quilting and embroidery, crazy quilting just seems to be a natural fit. I have a class where you'll learn some beginning embroidery stitches and make a stocking. If you're very, very new to embroidery, I have a beginner class where we'll make a fabric zine to show off all your stitches that you learn. And I do enjoy Zentangle. And we'll teach you in the Zen embroidery class, we'll teach you how to do some of the tangle patterns and then how to embroider them. Some of my fun classes that aren't related to quilting are your sweater mittens and your candy bag pouches. Those are always great. And then of course, any of my patterns, some of my popular ones are the thread catcher and pin cushion and my Charming Hearts pattern. So thank you for listening today. Here's my contact information, and I look forward to having you in an upcoming class.
Thanks, Tracy. Annie Smith is next.
Hi, I'm Annie Smith. I'm a quilt imagineer, instructor, author, and podcaster. I've been teaching since 1984. I'm now offering individual live classes via Zoom for interested and enthusiastic quilters who want to have a great learning experience and hone their personal quilting skills, whether you're a beginner or an accomplished quilter. I use Zoom Pro and multiple cameras so you can see all of the demonstration detail, and everyone has a great class experience. Here's what I have for you. Quilt Making 101 is a 10-week class that will take you on a quilt journey from A to Z. This is an in-depth class for every level of quilter with a variety of quilt construction techniques. It's a great skill builder. You'll start with 1 block and 6 fat quarters and build as you go to learn a treasury of quilting techniques and tricks. Courthouse Cabin is a new take on a traditional log cabin quilt that is designed 1 block at a time. Learn how to make a design wall become an essential tool for your creativity. I also offer 3 additional quilt designs that can be made from the leftovers to help you bust your fabric stash. Machine applique is my expertise, and I offer 2 different levels of class. For beginners, the basics, where you learn to love the process and so you won't feel intimidated by the A word. Then, for students who know how to do machine applique, a small Baltimore-style applique block called Carnation. My next class is a variety of techniques called Garden Delights. The quilt is a combination of the Carolina Lily block, a butterfly block, an orange peel applique block, and then you design the triangle corners to complete your quilt. Done in any color combinations, this quilt will be sensational. My fabric designer friend, Cherry Guidry, and I are offering a mystery quilt along called Count Your Blessings, which is a blending of our styles. Machine applique, SVG files, machine and hand embroidery are just a small part of it. Beginning in April, the quilt along will have live Zoom demos and a private community for attendees, along with 2 fabric kits to choose from and matching Aurifil thread collections. I have complete information, schedule of class dates, class sizes, and pricing on my website. I'll also have more classes later in the year. Here's my contact information, my website, and how to reach me via social media, including my new YouTube channel.
Thank you, Annie. Now we will hear from Brenda Gale Smith.
Welcome to the Serendipity Studio. I'm Brenda Gale Smith, and I live and create at the other Copacabana, the one on the central coast of New South Wales in Australia. Last year, my studio morphed into a virtual classroom. I've been teaching live, interactive workshops via Zoom with students all over the world, and it's brilliant. I'm really excited about how technology enables us to share our creative spaces and work together side by side, no matter where we live or what time zone we are in. Thank you to the Global Quilt Connection for this opportunity to talk a little about the workshops that I offer to students directly. My teaching focus is on freeform piecing, effective design, and the use of colour to promote fun and to encourage creative momentum. Learning online takes a different kind of concentration. I have reconfigured some of my most popular classes to optimize them for the Zoom format. Each 3-hour class focuses on a different freeform piecing technique and is designed to build skills and confidence for individual compositions. First up in 2021 is geometrics, strip ease, fundamentally circles, line dancing, and the X Factor. My studio is set up with multiple cameras so you can work with me side by side every step of the way, at the cutting table, ironing board, design wall, and sewing machine. I also provide comprehensive handouts for ongoing reference. These 3-hour classes are standalone, or you can pick and choose your own series. Starting in February 2021, I'm offering a full suite of these classes at both Australian and US friendly times. In addition, I'm excited to offer a new 4-module 10-hour workshop. Abstraction in Action is designed for committed students looking to stretch their creative muscles and to explore abstraction in both concept and practice. This workshop does not include technique instruction. Rather, the focus is on the process of abstraction and developing new ways of seeing. Most students will be working in fabric with their preferred technique, but all mediums are welcome. Check out all the details on my website. I'd love for you to join me in the Serendipity Studio in 2021.
Thank you, Brenda. Next up is Timna Tarr.
Hi everyone, my name is Timna Tarr. I'm an award-winning quilter and instructor and a brand new fabric designer, but I love talking to quilters about quilting. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. Right now I have a few virtual offerings. I have 2 live Zoom lectures. The first one's called Flying Colors, and it is basically my quilting journey from the beginning through making lots of circle quilts to map quilts to portrait quilts, and to whatever I'm working on at the time of the lecture. So there's that one. Then I also have a second one called Before and After Repeating Patterns. And this one is much more about my family quilts and how those humble utilitarian quilts that I grew up with on my bed, how they've really inspired the work that I do now. You know, this quilt, for example, is based on an old quilt top that my mother owns called, the block is called Endless Chain. And I just loved her quilt top so much that I decided I needed to remake it into my own version. I also have 4 pre-recorded on-demand workshops. These are workshops you can take anytime in your pajamas, whatever. You sign up as an individual, and those workshops are 4 of them. For Oh Happy Day, which is a circle workshop. You learn how to applique circles 6 different ways. A second one is Strung Along, which is a string quilting workshop. And I know you all probably know how to make string quilts, but it's not just a technique class, it's also a color class. I talk a lot about how I choose the color and layout of the blocks. The third workshop is map making. So here's my map of Massachusetts. I'll show you how to take a paper map, and how to turn it into a fabric map. And the fourth workshop is stitched mosaics. And this is a workshop that will show you how to go from a photograph and turn it into a quilt using a gridded technique. You can start small. I'll give you the image for this flower, so you can start with something pretty simple, or you can jump right in and do something more complex. I suggest you start simple. But however it works for you. So those classes are all on demand. They're all at my website at timnatarr.com. If you're a guild rep and you have members who have taken some of my classes, I do live Q&A sessions over Zoom. So that way, if people want to get together and show their work, what they've been working on, and maybe they have a few questions that they want to talk to me directly, I do those live Zoom Q&A in half-hour or hour chunks. So I look forward to seeing all of you, and thanks for watching this.
That was great, Timna. Our last teacher in this presentation is Laura Winckel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Laura Winckel with Quality Quilts by Laura. I'm going to be telling you about some classes I'm going to be offering online for individuals through Zoom. You can reach me at qualityquiltsbylaura.com or at qualityquiltsbylaura@yahoo.com directly. If you go to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter and get more information on the classes I'm going to tell you about right now. The first set of classes I'm going to offer is going to be monthly. It's going to be making table toppers, bags, purses, anything you want. Runners. I have table runners. You can make them any length you want, and toppers. We'll be making ones for different holidays. And then as the class progresses, we'll be making runners with embellishments. If you have any lace or old doilies from your grandparents maybe, you can put them. This is a nice way to use up those doilies and the laces that you don't know what to do with, but you don't want to get rid of them. I hope that you can join me. It'll be once a month on a Saturday. Please go to qualityquiltsbylaura.com and sign up for my newsletter for more information. The other set of classes I'm going to do is quilting on leather. Yes, you can quilt on leather. We'll be making small wall decorations on leather. We'll be making some toppers that you can decorate with, maybe in a den with different types of leather, hair on hair and regular leather. And the first project we'll do is a leather journal cover. I do one with hearts in hearts and ponies. If you're a long armor, you may have a computer program that you like that you can do that on. I will provide kits for both of these classes at a minimal fee, and there will be fees involved with being able to take these classes. Please go to my website, sign up for my newsletter for all the information on when they'll be offered and the pricing, or contact me directly at qualityquiltsbylaura@yahoo.com or my website at qualityquiltsbylaura.com. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
We have time for some question and answer from our attendees. If you would, type in your questions in the chat. We would love to hear that.
Well, if anybody has questions for our incognito teachers, we can still answer them while Lyric
That would be good.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Sue, can you ask any questions that our panelists have while I try to figure this out? Yes. I know I read one question that asked, some of you have specific materials that you need for your online classes. How does a student who can't necessarily get those, how do they get those materials? For instance, Natalya, I know your classes are really interesting in the materials that you use.
So materials for my classes are actually quite easy to find. Next time you go to the supermarket, collect all the plastics that are wrapped around whatever packaging that are used for packaging for whatever you're buying. And that's the material, the main material for my classes. And yeah, there's plenty to choose from out there. Just keep your eyes open. They come in all sorts of colors and they have graphics on them, and we can use them all for art making.
Okay, does anybody else want to talk about the materials they use for their classes?
I can just mention that probably speaking for most of us that, a lot of us have kits available for our classes, and I make my kits and sell everything pretty much at my cost, so that it's makes it easy for everybody, especially if I have a class that asks for 100 different little scraps of fabric. They're all in there, and a lot of us have patterns and enlargements. So just check with your teacher. I think we all provide, if not the actual materials, a source for them, because not everybody can go out to the stores.
And that was Phyllis Cullen speaking, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, it's Kim speaking. I use a new tool that I've designed called the Line Designer. And so I have it available through my Teachable, but it's actually available on my Etsy shop. So, whether it's a simple list of materials that are required for the workshop or a little tool, then the links are just there for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
And this is Laura, and on my leather workshop, I do send out kits so that they have the right type of leather, the correct weight and needles, so that they have everything that they need.
Great. All right, I'm reading a question that asks about class size, and I'm sure this is different depending on what kind of class you see. Do any of you teachers want to answer that?
My classes are limited to 12 students, and I will do it for as few as 4 because I like to have a one-on-one experience with students. I also have unlimited email interactions with students, and I record the classes for 6 months afterwards. This is Phyllis Cullen.
Thank you, Phyllis. Sheri, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I've been teaching live online through Zoom so that I can keep classes super small, just so that it's intimate. So typically for non-guilds, no more than 14, especially since not everyone knows each other in a non-guild.
Great. Anybody else want to talk about their class size?
I keep my class size to 8 because it's a nice, small, intimate group, and we can really get to know each other and offer suggestions. It's easy to have a conversation when there's a small group.
Great. Jennifer, you had your hand up.
Yes, I have my on-demand classes that you can take in the comfort of your own home. And then when I do them live, I like to keep them under 20, especially for the computer classes. And I'd also like to comment for my Photoshop Elements, which is learning the inkjet printing class. Adobe offers a free trial, so you don't actually have to own the software to try out the class. And the app for the iPad is actually under $10, so you don't have to know anything about the software. I take you through it step by step.
Thank you. Laura, we have a specific question about your leather class. Do you have to use, can you use a regular sewing machine?
Yes, you have to have a leather needle.
Okay, so any machine, just a
Any
special
machine.
needle. Excellent. Anybody else have something they want to mention about their classes? Now that we can see all your beautiful faces.
Yeah, this is MJ. I just wanted to say that all of my patterns in my drama, Diamonds and Drama Queens, and my Tiny Treasures Club are available via downloadable PDF files. So anywhere, anybody, anywhere in the world can participate. It's been fun so far.
Good.
Thanks, Lyric.
You're welcome. Timna, somebody is asking, do you teach online as well? That's what this was all about, right?
Yeah, I don't have any live Zoom classes. So all my classes are pre-recorded on demand. Take them at your leisure classes.
Great. I know with the classes that I teach, there's a nice balance between on demand, which means that you sign up for the course, you get all of the content material. Sometimes it's 1 week at a time, but sometimes it's all at once, but you get to work through it at your own convenience. And then there are wonderful things about teaching live on Zoom. So those of you teachers who do live on Zoom classes, I'd like to hear about it. Kim?
I offer workshops that are available for live on Zoom as a workshop standing, but there's also the free motion quilting that is, another session will be opening soon. And so that's a combination. So there is weekly online activities that are kind of go at your own pace. And then there's always a weekly live session that is recorded for those that can't join us live. And what I want to say is I love teaching virtually because we have people from all over the world together. You know, the last class we had a couple people from Texas, a wonderful lady from Italy, another lady from Australia, and we made a wonderful group. We're together for a whole month. And sometimes they continue their partnerships and collaborations right afterwards. So I think it's, as teachers, we have just as much fun as the participants.
For sure. I know I do. I have a lot more fun when I'm online with all you quilters than just here alone doing shutdown. Brenda.
Some people have asked me questions about the time difference because Kathy and I are both down here in Australia. And I can't speak for Kathy, but for my classes, most of mine are structured as 3-hour classes, and I have 2 streams. I have a Saturday morning my time stream, which is in the afternoon, Friday evening in the US. And then I have another stream, especially for my North American students. It involves me getting up a little bit earlier on my Thursday morning, which is a comfortable Wednesday afternoon in the United States. And I've also got a lot of students from Europe, and they like to, it's the evening their time, and they join us as well. So as one of the other presenters said, it's a fabulous opportunity for us all to work together and share across the world.
Excellent. Kathy, you're another one to answer this.
Yeah, I just want to agree with Brenda. We realize that our time zone is less popular than some of the other ones, so we do schedule them so that it's sort of afternoon, evening for the US. So it's quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Quite
and you
doable,
all
I
want
should
to
say.
take classes with them just so you can listen to the fabulous Australian accent for a while. I would. Phyllis.
Yeah, I just like to mention that I'm in Hawaii, which means that my time zones overlap absolutely everybody else's. And in my classes, I've had everybody from, well, my co-teacher is in Israel, so we span the globe. We've got people from Australia, India, Saudi Arabia, South America, Europe, and mainland US, and it all seems to work out. And you know, I like doing them on live Zoom because I love the interaction. I want to see what everybody is doing, and I personally don't have a lot of luck doing online things where I'm not accountable. So I like making my students be accountable.
Right. I have a question asking, and then we'll get to Rachel, if the teachers are booking for guilds as well. I can tell you for all of us, we are always booking for guilds, always. Some of our schedules fill up pretty far in advance though. So if you see somebody who you want, please get in touch with them right away. Go straight to their website, read their website first. You can usually find all the information you need on their website instead of just sending out a blast saying, hey, what days are you available? Do you want me to tell you every day on their calendar? You know, just see what you can find out. Come to them with specific information. I know all the teachers that I've talked to are very flexible with their scheduling. You know, we can accommodate your time zones, which is lovely. And Rachel, you had something to say.
I have my landscape class is starting on the 17th. It's a live class. So it's divided into two sessions a week apart. So the 17th and the 24th, and then Artful Couching is March 2nd and 9th. And also really fun in the Facebook group, Artful Quilting and Sewing Facebook group. Yesterday, we just started a 100-day challenge. So you do a block or a triangle or a hexie, one each day. And everyone's really excited to start that. It's free. Just come and join the fun.
One of the things I love that happens with this online space with virtual teaching is that students in a class often are able to keep in communication. They're able to keep working together via private group, via Facebook, via whatever electronic space they can find together after class. So you can see each other's progress. And I know as teachers, that's one of the things we love to see, is see your progress, see what happens after classes. Anybody else? Teachers, do you have any last things? Annie?
So all of my classes are live via Zoom, and I love, like the other teachers, having the live interaction with the students. And so I structure my classes so that the instruction and demos are first thing in the day, and then the rest of the day, the students work at their own pace and then pop back in if they need help. And then they start having conversations about all these different things, and everybody gets to see their progress, just like being in a live classroom. And so I just love the capability for us to do live Zoom classes. I think it's fabulous.
It is really fun. We haven't heard anything from Kim or Rhonda or Esterita. Do any of you three have things? Kim?
Yeah, I could just reiterate again, all the links are on the website, right? So that they can go find the websites. That I do have an online course starting March 1st. Again, I only open them a couple times a year because I want to give full attention to that group. So I don't have other things happening during that month. And so again, that is limited enrollment. Like everyone has said here, we don't have unlimited enrollment so that we can give closer attention. So that's starting March 1st. And so that is for free motion quilting.
Very good. Rhonda?
What I'm working on right now is kind of neat. It's a 6-week Get Pigment Confident challenge. And I'm right in the middle of a group that's doing it as we speak here. And I'm very excited about it because what it is, it's a lot of it is individual video, taking the video on the app. And it's a web-based app at this point, but it will eventually be something that you can download from the Apple Store or Google. And it also has 2 other components. One is an accountability group using something like Facebook or some social platform. And then the other aspect is using Zoom, where we have some live meetings where we can actually interact. And what I love about that is you have the flexibility, especially if you're working and busy, to do a portion of it on your own time, but then check in, and then we can communicate using all of the great technology that we have. So that's my latest and greatest, but I also offer other workshops, using Zoom. So I think, like many of the instructors, we're trying to be flexible. We're trying to offer things that the guilds and individuals want to learn with, and just really excited that we have the technology available to us today to do it.
Fabulous. It's a good thing. Esterita.
Hey, how you doing, Lyric? So I've been doing virtual classes, really enjoying it with guilds and with individuals. And basically, I've been working all the way through with the students, step by step. I do the same thing that they're doing. And what I love about virtual teaching is they can take a photograph with their phone or iPad and shoot it over to me in an email, and then I can screen share it large on my screen, and everybody can talk about it as I annotate things to suggest changes or whatever. And I'm very excited that next week I'm starting on CourseCraft. I'm starting my on-demand classes, which I've been really working on. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I just wanted to let you know.
There's so many teachers here. I wish I could take everybody's classes. All right, I'm going to share my screen one last time and show you all the website, globalquiltconnection.com. If you click, these teachers are in the center, students looking for online classes. Here you can see the recordings of previous webinars, the last 2 open enrollment webinars we had. Here you can find a teacher directory that has these are all links directly to their websites. And here in this corner, you can download a spreadsheet of, You can download a spreadsheet that's sortable so that you can find teachers according to technique or where they are, all those kinds of things. So please go to globalquiltconnection.com, download, click on the links, contact the teachers, find the classes that you want to take, bring your friends, tell your friends, because this is going to be recorded, although it's pre-recorded without all of the blips for the middle part. Sorry about that again. Thank you for your patience. There's always something that happens, and it's a new thing every time. So thank you so much for your attendance. We encourage you, especially if you're part of a guild, to join us for the February 22nd, 24th, and 26th webinars that are marketed towards guilds. So the teachers will all be showing you their programs that you can have a group hire. Even if you're not the guild program chair, you can watch, find a fabulous teacher and recommend them to your program chair. I know as a former program chair that they love it when you do part of the work for them. They really do. So everybody, smile pretty, say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at the Global Quilt Connection. We love you, quilters. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. You can find recordings of previous Meet the Teacher webinars on this YouTube channel, as well as at globalquiltconnection.com. There you can also download information for all of the teachers with their email and website links. Thank you for watching. Sue Bleiweiss is the mastermind behind this webinar, and my name is Lyric Montgomery Kennard. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and you can see upcoming webinars as well. Thanks. Stay safe, be well, and keep quilting.